It was just another Monday morning in the towering glass building of Dawson Enterprises, where time moved fast and emotions had no place. People rushed through the halls with coffee cups and deadlines, whispering about their boss, the man everyone feared and respected. Ethan Dawson. The cold, untouchable CEO who built an empire but destroyed every piece of his humanity along the way. No one dared to talk to him unless spoken to. No one except the woman who didn't even realize who he was, the nanny who left a small, handmade birthday card on the wrong table. That single mistake would change both their lives forever. It began in a quiet corner of the 42nd floor, where Mia worked as a temporary cleaner. Her real job, though, was as a nanny for the late-night staff's children in the daycare that the company had built for its employees. She was young, humble, and always wore that faded blue uniform that seemed a size too big for her small frame. Her hair was tied in a messy bun, her hands always smelled of soap and baby powder, and her shoes were worn from walking everywhere because she couldn't afford the bus most days. But she had something no one else in that building had: a heart that still believed in kindness, even when the world gave her nothing back. That morning, she had spent all night drawing a birthday card for little Lily, the daughter of one of the assistants, whose parents barely ever showed up for her birthdays. She couldn't afford a gift, but she poured her love into every line she drew, every word she wrote in colored pencil. You are loved. You are seen. You are never alone, the card said in her gentle handwriting, but in her rush to drop it off before heading to her second job, Mia left the card on the wrong desk. She placed it neatly beside a silver pen, unaware it wasn't the assistant's desk at all. It was the CEO's. When Ethan walked into his office that morning, his assistant froze as he saw the small, handmade card on the table. The CEO didn't do cards. He didn't do birthdays. His own birthdays had long been forgotten since his mother died years ago. He barely remembered the last time someone had written his name in colors. Curious despite himself, Ethan opened the card. The paper was cheap, but the words hit something deep inside him. You are loved. You are seen. You are never alone. For reasons he couldn't explain, he couldn't take his eyes off it. For a moment, the walls of his office, the ones built of money, power, and pride, felt smaller. Softer. He looked at the name at the bottom, Mia. He didn't know who she was. But he wanted to. Ethan called his assistant. Who's Mia? He asked coldly. The assistant flipped through lists but couldn't find any executive or client by that name. Eventually, he discovered she was a low-level cleaner and part-time nanny who worked 2 shifts to make ends meet. Ethan's brow furrowed. Why would someone like that write something so sincere? That evening, instead of heading straight home to his empty mansion, he walked down to the daycare for the first time since it opened. The sound of laughter echoed in the small playroom. There, on the floor, sat Mia, helping a child build a tower from wooden blocks, her smile soft, her laughter unguarded. She didn't see him watching her. But something stirred in him that he hadn't felt in years. He waited until everyone left. Then he approached her quietly. You're Mia, he asked, his deep voice startling her. She turned, eyes wide, clutching her bag. Why yes, sir. Did I do something wrong? He hesitated. You left this on my desk. He showed her the card. Her face turned red. Oh my God, that wasn't for you, sir. I'm so sorry, I must have left it on the wrong. It's fine, he interrupted. But there was something softer in his tone now. Why did you write this? She blinked, confused. It was for Lily. Her parents are always too busy. I just wanted her to feel special. Everyone deserves to feel seen once in a while. Her words echoed in his head long after she left that night. Everyone deserves to feel seen. The next morning, the staff noticed something different about Ethan Dawson. He greeted people. He actually smiled once. And for the first time in years, he asked about the daycare program's funding. He didn't say why, but he doubled their budget that week. Weeks passed. Mia tried to forget that embarrassing moment, but it kept finding her. The CEO began showing up at the daycare more often, at first pretending to inspect things, later staying just to watch the children play. One day, he brought cupcakes for all the kids. Another day, he brought new toys. But the truth was, he wasn't coming for them. He was coming to see her. Mia didn't know what to make of it. A man like him, richer than imagination, surrounded by luxury, couldn't possibly care about someone like her. But one evening, after she stayed late cleaning, she found him sitting alone in the playroom, holding one of the blocks in his hand. I don't know how to do this, he said quietly. I don't know how to care anymore. I built everything I thought mattered, and somehow, I ended up with nothing that feels real. She sat down beside him, hesitant but gentle. Maybe you just forgot what real feels like. Sometimes it's in the smallest things, a thank you, a smile, or a handmade birthday card. He looked at her then, really looked at her. And for the first time, the loneliness in his eyes didn't seem endless. That night marked the beginning of something neither of them expected. Over the next few months, Ethan began involving Mia in small projects, suggesting daycare improvements, community programs, staff well-being initiatives. Her compassion inspired him to make changes that the company desperately needed. Slowly, the man who once only cared about profits began caring about people, but not everyone approved. Rumors spread fast in the building. A billionaire CEO spending time with a poor nanny? The whispers grew cruel, and soon Mia felt the weight of judgment. She tried to quit, but Ethan stopped her. Don't run, he told her. The world will always have opinions. But the only truth that matters is the one you carry inside. When his birthday came around months later, he found something on his desk again, a small handmade card, just like before. It read, "You are loved. You are seen. You are never alone." This time, she signed her name on purpose. He didn't just read it. He framed it, and that afternoon, during the company meeting, Ethan announced something that silenced everyone in the room. From today, he said, his voice steady, our company will fund free childcare and education programs for every employee. Because no one should ever feel unseen. People clapped. Some even cried. But Mia, standing at the back of the room, couldn't stop smiling through her tears. Ethan walked over to her quietly, leaned in, and whispered, "Thank you, for seeing me when I couldn't even see myself." She laughed softly. It was just a birthday card. He shook his head. No, Mia. It was a lifeline. And in that crowded hall, two broken souls, one lonely from too much, one struggling with too little, found the one thing they both needed most, not wealth, not status, but a reason to believe in kindness again. The story spread across the company, across social media, even across hearts. And though not everyone knew how it began, everyone felt what it meant. Sometimes, the smallest act of love can awaken the biggest change, because one poor nanny left a birthday card on a table, and a lonely CEO read it, and changed her life forever.